APC governors are divided on who will be the next party chairman. A crisis of trust is brewing among the governors elected under the platform of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) over the direction which the composition of the next National Working Committee (NWC) of the party should assume. It was gathered that last week Thursday, the National Executive Council (NEC) of the APC dissolved the Comrade Adams Oshiomhole-led NWC and appointed a 13-member caretaker committee to run the affairs of the party for the next 6 months. The caretaker committee that is to be chaired by Governor Mala Buni of Yobe State was handed the responsibility of organizing a national convention within its stipulated time of appointment that will usher in new leaders of the party, including Oshiomhole's successor. 2 sitting governors, Ogboyaga Oyintola and Sani Bello of Osun and Niger State respectively, were also named as members of the committee. The NEC meeting, which held inside the council chambers at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, and presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, also had in attendance the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, many state governors elected under the platform of the party, and other key stakeholders. While some members of the dissolved NWC, led by Hilad Etta and Waziri Bulama, rejected the NEC decision on Thursday, the sacked chairman of the party, Adams Oshiomhole, however, expressed satisfaction with the decision taken by the party's NEC, just as he pledged his loyalty and support to President Muhammadu Buhari. The party had been emerged in a leadership crisis following a Court of Appeal order which upheld the earlier ruling of an Abuja High Court, which had earlier upheld the suspension of Adams Oshiomhole by his ward in Isako West local government area of Edo State. The crisis started following the frosty relationship between Oshiomhole and his state governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, who eventually quitted the APC for the People's Democratic Party (PDP). However, there are feelers that the crisis in the party is mainly about who will control the party structure ahead of the 2023 presidential election. It was learned that, as against the impression of a united front being presented by the leadership of the Progressive Governors Forum, led by Governor Atiku Bugadu of Kebbi State, it was gathered that opinions among the state's chief executives are still divided over where and how the process would go. Governor Bagudu, who on Friday, in the company of 4 other APC governors, including the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, the newly inaugurated chairman of the APC Caretaker and Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee, Malam Buni of Yobe State, Niger State Governor Bello, and East Kogi State counterpart Alhaji Yahaya Bello, who visited Buhari in Aso Rock and had a closed-door meeting with him. Addressing State House correspondents later that day, Bagudu said the governors came for a thank you visit to Mr. President for the way he resolved the crisis rocking the party, describing it as visionary. You may not hear the voice of some governors on the street, but they are not in sync with what is being planned. Don't you wonder why Governor Bagudu and Fayemi are the ones running the show? 3 governors were appointed into the caretaker committee. Only 2, Buni and Bello, went with Bagudu to say thank you to the president. What about Oyintola? But they took Fayemi along, and he was the only Southern APC governor among those who went for the visit. A ranking leader of the party who spoke on the condition of anonymity said, "The convention will be early next year, and the post-Oshiomhole era has just started in earnest because it is critical to 2023 race. I can tell you that the governors are not on the same page, regardless of the impression out there. Some of them are only pushing the narrative of governor supremacy in the party affairs for their own personal interest. I doubt if they will reach a compromise on what their colleagues may propose." Speaking in specifics, he said, "Things will happen thick and fast in the coming days, but the next line of rankling in our party might likely be among the governors. 3 Southwest governors are loyal to the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and they may likely not follow the Fayemi Bagudu persuasion on who will lead the party because it is all tied to the 2023 race. However, whether they will be able to muster enough courage to push it through is another kettle of fish." Another source, however, disclosed that the choice of the next chairman of the party will be a joint task between some governors and some members of the Buhari's cabinet, adding that the position will be retained in the South-South zone. Some of the names already hitting the front pages as likely picks to lead the ruling party include Dr. Sam Jaja, the former Edo State governor, Dr. Osareme Osubo, former Senate leader Ndoma Egba, Dakuku Peterside, former Senator Domingo Obide, and former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs Usani. Meanwhile, loyalists of Senator Bola Tinubu, who many believe was at the receiving end of the next dissolution of the Oshiomhole-led NWC, are set to converge and deliberate on the modalities for the forthcoming convention, might take and probably cash on it. It was learned over the weekend that in a series of messages exchanged among Tinubu's loyalists, they described dissolution as a temporary setback, but hoping that the team must be optimistic and strategic with their plans. In the meantime, some political analysts have faulted part of last week Thursday dissolution of the NWC by the APC NEC, stating that some actions of the council may have breached some sections of the ruling party's constitution. According to Oluwafemi Adowo, a civil rights activist, the appointment of Yobe State Governor Buni ran afoul of Article 17, subsection 4 of the APC own constitution, stating that if contested in the court of law, the party might be found breaking its own law. The section said, "No officer in any organ of the party shall hold executive position office in government concurrently." He also stated that the conveyance of the APC NEC is in total violation of APC constitution, which prescribes 14 days notice for regular NEC meeting and 7 days notice in the case of an emergency meeting under Article 25. On this part, Maxwell Edewe noted that the dissolution of the NWC by the NEC should be tested by the law since members of the NWC were elected by a national convention of the party. He added, the NWC member emerged from the national convention and it should also take the national convention to remove them. The APC should have quickly convened a mini convention to remove them, not a NEC. Meanwhile, the crisis in the APC have dovetailed into a battle of wits in the Southwest between Tinubu, who is believed to be the real target alongside his minors holding party office at the national level and Ekiti State Governor Fayemi. The Cold War, which has deteriorated the relationship between the duo, was further escalated on the social media as loyalists of both politicians went for each other jugular amid happening in the ruling party. It is inferred in other bread that both men have their eyes on the presidency in 2023, while in another, Fayemi is believed to be eyeing the vice president slot from the southwest. This is a very, very strong news coming out from APC. All is not well with the party yet, despite the recent NEC meeting. But I will urge each and every one of us to stay tuned, because I will be giving you updates and giving you inform on how this drama unfolds. Because we are really in for a very long time.